Sejam bem-vindos ao Maputo Fast Forward. Eu chamo-me Évora Abreu e hoje vou ser o vosso moderador para esta sessão. Esta sessão está a ser no formato híbrido, presencial aqui na Fundação Fernando Leite Couto e online no Facebook e no Zoom. E para quem quiser acompanhar as traduções, nós temos esses pequenos dispositivos nas vossas cadeiras, em que a linha 1 é para o português e a linha 2 é para o inglês. O tema para a sessão de hoje é blockchain, criptoarte e ecossistemas das artes e cultura. E temos como convidados a Rita Palma de Portugal, o Michael Mastrotótaro da Áustria, a Kotrina Tribuschneit da Lituânia e a Thaís Cochino do Brasil. Espero ter dito o nome do Michael, o apelido do Michael e da Kotrina corretamente. Eu vou só, boa noite, Rita, Michael, Kotrina e Thaís. Sejam bem-vindos ao Maputo Fast Forward. Antes de começarmos esta nossa conversa, vou pedir-vos apenas que façam uma pequena, breve apresentação de quem vocês são e o que é que vocês fazem. Obrigado.
Eu vou começar, assim, muito brevemente. Meu nome é Rita Palma, eu faço Project Manager na wendy.network. Eu não sei se os meus colegas estão a entender esta pequena introdução, but should I speak in English or in Portuguese?
Podes falar português, português é melhor. Nós conseguimos te ouvir, agora okay. Conseguimos ver-te. Yeah.
Ok. Pronto, então eu sou Project Manager na Wendy Network, basicamente é esse o meu cargo. Estou a fazer management de um projeto que se chama Cross Cultural Collaboration e que neste momento por acaso está a ser exibido no Maputo Fast Forward online, a primeira edição. Pronto.
Obrigado, Rita. Podemos ter o Michael ou a Kotrina ou a Thaís a seguir.
So I think like they cannot understand.
Oh, okay.
So
sorry. Okay. So I was saying, Michael and Kotrina, welcome to Maputo Fast Forward. My name is Évora Abreu. I'm going to be your moderator today. And first things first, I would like you guys to tell a bit more, like shortly, who you guys are and what you guys do before we start our conversation. Thank you.
All right, who should start? Kotrina, maybe? You have to unmount. Yes.
I was giving you the way, but okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Kotrina. I am from Lithuania in the Baltic states. I am a community development lead at Wendy Network. I don't know what else to say. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, then I go next. Hello, everybody. My name is Michael Mastrotótaro. I'm the founder of Wendy Network and Konjugate, and I'm super happy that we can be part of Maputo Fast Forward.
Thank you, Michael. I would like, por último, Thaís. Passo agora para ti.
Boa noite a todos e boa tarde também a todos que estão aqui no Brasil. Queria agradecer muito o convite do Maputo Fast Forward e também a presença hoje aqui, né, do Ivaro, da Rita, da Kotrina e do Michael. E eu sou Thaís Costino, eu nasci e trabalho em Brasília, a capital do Brasil. Eu sou nipo-brasileira, né? Tenho metade da minha identidade como japonesa. E eu sou artista, curadora e pesquisadora. Atualmente eu estou cursando mestrado na Universidade de Brasília, no programa de pós-graduação em artes visuais. Eu também sou cofundadora e curadora do Diverse NFT Art e trabalho na equipe de projetos artísticos do Ricket Nunc. E acho que é isso.
Muito obrigado. Rita, Michael, Cotrina e Thaís. Eu agora ia, começando a nossa conversa, ia perguntar à Rita, ao Michael e à Cotrina o que é a Konjugate, o que são a Konjugate e a Wendy Network, e como é que começaram, como é que nasceram esses projetos, e a mesma pergunta também a seguir vai servir para ti, Thaís. So I was saying, Michael, Rita, and Cotrina, to start our conversation, I would like to know what is Konjugate and Wendy Network, and how do you guys came up with those projects? And afterwards, Thaís would answer the same questions for her project. Thank you.
So maybe I'll just speak in English so everyone can understand at the moment. So I will talk a little bit about the values of Wendy Network and Konjugate, and then Katrina will talk a little bit about like what are we doing at the moment to achieve those goals, and Masra will talk about more like the blockchain and the technological part of it all. So basically, the Wendy Network, that is an art platform, but it's not only an art platform, it's actually like a community for artists and art lovers. It's very connected to Konjugate. And Konjugate, it's a cryptocurrency and a blockchain that exists to revolutionize the art market. So all these correlations between cryptocurrency, crypto art, art market, blockchain, that's what we want to strengthen this, and we want to develop this. Yes, so the basic values are inclusivity, diversity, democratization of the arts, decentralization of the art market, and the promotion of creative the innovation of creative artistic creations, not just in arts in general, but also in the digital universe. Because as we saw the last couple of years, we are not that developed compared to the other sectors. Like technologically, we didn't, like the art market is not adapted to the new technologies. We want to change that. Yeah, so we want to create more opportunities for artists. We want to restructure the art market. We want to adapt to the new technological inventions, and not just in a Eurocentric point of view, but in like a world point of view. Like, yeah, I think Katrina can talk a little bit what we are doing at the moment.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Rita. Before I go ahead, I just wanted to ask you to think what would personally convince you to join Wendy Network out of all of these things that I will mention, because I'm going to talk about how at Wendy Network we build our community right now and how we try to help the artists right now. So later when there's time for questions or something, like some time, and if you are willing to share what would convince you to join Wendy Network, we would love to hear that. So just a little intro. Well, I'll go ahead and start. First and foremost, and actually one of my favorite ones, that what we do right now is that we have a very active magazine and opportunities page on our webpage. So we have an entire team dedicated to source and gather and collect the most interesting opportunities for all kinds of artists, such as open calls, residencies, contests. And of course, we focus on those opportunities that are accessible internationally, and they never have any entrance fee that a lot of opportunities actually have. So we don't post these kind of opportunities. We try to make them as accessible as possible for our network members. We also create our own open calls, which all of the Wendy network members are free to apply. And if you are selected, you will get paid and you will be promoted and published on our social media. Another thing that we do is our quarterly meetups that we host on a host platform called GatherTown. So it is like a video game where you see all the participants, little avatars walking around the room, and you're able to network, discuss, visit different kind of discussions in different kind of rooms. So it really feels like a real life event. So we organize that every 3 months. We also curate and organize online exhibitions in the very same manner, using other types of platforms such as crypto voxels, where again, once you log in, you can check artworks from up close as if you were in a real exhibition. We also organize artist residencies where we pay the artists that we select to work on their personal projects and also participate in discussions and mentor sessions. And in the end of each residency, we have a final presentation where all artists present what they've achieved. And tomorrow, actually, at the same time as this festival is happening right now, we will have one of those presentations happening. So if you would like to see it or join it, please let us know. We will send you an invitation. Another special project which Rita is actually running is cross-cultural collaboration. It's a collaboration which has an idea that not all art has to be exhibited and executed in the English language, that there are other languages, other cultures, and we select people from 2 different countries. So one is usually the colonizer's country, one is the colonized country, well, in short, and we help them make a partnership. So 2 parties kind of discuss questions that perhaps or needs to be discussed. Actually, the outcome of the first edition of this project being featured online on the Maputo Fast Forward is a collab between the Portuguese and Mozambican artist. Very interesting as well. So that's another thing that we do. And generally, as an organization, we also are very much open for all kinds of collaborations. So, and for example, we have collaborated with Sidewalk Studios to have an online open mic, which we also had, for example, in our quarterly meeting, where people can come up the stage, well, the virtual stage, and perform or tell their poetry, for example. We also collaborated with the RMD, which is short for Resources Mobilization Digital, which aims to bring together investors and supporters in the cultural and creative industry. So there is like a big event where you can go and network with potential supporters as an artist. And yeah, we help them not only that we were participants there, but we also help them with their marketing, with social media. So we were like active in a variety of ways. That's what partnerships are, after all. And finally, we make donations to members of Wendy Network in the Konjugate, which you will hear more about from our founder, Michael Mastro-Totaro. But in short, we do a variety of projects and initiatives that help, we hope that they help artists, especially in like these difficult times in the pandemic. We really do our best to make things from what we have. And in the future, we have really big plans. We're thinking of creating a lot of new projects. We're thinking of creating a space for digital artworks, such as NFTs, perhaps, maybe an ecosystem that will internally work, that will be based also on the Konji coin that we will speak about later. So we have big plans, and we hope that you're able to join us at some point. Thank you so much. I give the mic to Mastro.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to just make a short presentation about what Konjugate is, this cryptocurrency, what we are developing since 2.5 or nearly 3 years now, and what are the plans and where we want to go with it. Yes. Is it possible to share the screen? I think so. Great. Then I just, sorry, desktop. Just have to open presentation. Okay. So okay. So I hope you can see the shared screen. So a short description or a short insight about what is Konjugate and wendy.network. That's the website of Konjugate, the screenshot, and that's the wendy.network website. And so maybe in general, what is blockchain? Because Konjugate is, we are developing. Oh, sorry, I just have to open the door. I'm very sorry. Can you give me 2 minutes, please? Sorry. Hello. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. So what is blockchain in general? It is, here we go. Okay, so it's a system, it's basically a system of recording information in a way that makes it difficult or impossible to change, hack, or cheat the system. A blockchain is essentially a digital ledger of transactions that is duplicated and distributed across the entire connected network of computer systems on the blockchain. So where does the Konjugate project came from, actually? So I'm media artist since more than, I don't know, 30 years now. And in 1999, I wrote a cyber novel. It was published online, and it was called Machfeld. And in this novel, I described the mining of Konjugate 9 years before Bitcoin appears. So there was this idea 9 years before, and then there's the one thing, and the other thing is that the main character of the book has the same name as the Bitcoin inventor, Satoshi Nakamoto. And that's very strange. And I can remember that I make like a Google search about this name, and then years, I don't know, a lot of years ago, and then it came up this Bitcoin, and then I had a look into it, because as a media artist, I was always interested in technology, of course, and that brought me to the own development of the Konjugate blockchain and coin. Yes. So how does the Konji chain work? Different to the most blockchains out there, we are focusing on an energy efficient way to store all information on our chain. That means that for the Konji chain, you don't have to mine blocks. So that means, for example, Bitcoin, you need a lot of computer power to generate new Bitcoins. And this process is called mining. But we turned off mining and we make a different consensus. It's called proof of stake. It's more or less like a reward system. So for example, if you hold some Konjugate in your Konji wallet and let them stake, it's called, then you automatically generate new Konjis. So you automatically generate also an inter-passive income for you. And during this process, there will be new blocks coming to the existence, and we need these blocks. So what we need these blocks for is basically that we need these blocks for like a storage, because into these blocks we can store data, and that's what it is. So so what we are developing the whole blockchain technology. We're redeveloping it because we are focusing on this green energy, and also we try to reduce the need of storage, because, for example, you know, if you I don't know if you're familiar with Ethereum, for example, they need like huge data centers that they can run their chain, because there is so many data on it. So what we developed in cooperation with our developers in the US is it's a bits visualized Scala. It's a Unix system that we developed and created in-house just for Konjugate. That means that we can store a lot of data on a image. It's 16 by 16 pixel big, so it's very super small, and we just need some kilobytes to store it on the blockchain. But we can even store a whole video HD on it. So, you know, it's a super high compression format that we developed. So the next thing what we are working on is these tokens. It's like in the Ethereum. What is a token? A token is just like an alias to something. You can you can imagine, and these tokens guarantee the ownership of something. So exactly, and these tokens, yes, they are connected to, for example, to a digital artwork. Maybe you're familiar with the NFTs, the non-fungible tokens. That means, or it is like that we are prototyping our own NFT solution at the moment, because there is a lag in this technology right now, because the images of these NFTs, of like if you make a digital artwork, yes, and you put it on an NFT marketplace, then the artwork itself, it's stored like on a local server somewhere, and just the token is stored in the blockchain. So what we are changing is that we also store the image itself on our blockchain, not only the token, and that makes it much more secure. And the current formats what we are developed right now are JPEGs and PNG and TIFF and stuff like this. And we can also store audio right now there. Our own NFT system is in test, in beta test, and it should be finished end of this year. So, and when it's finished, then here comes the first connect to the Wendy network, is that we will enable this NFT section also on Wendy network and go public there with it. What we also developed is it's called smart contracts, and the smart contract is something like a normal contract, but it's smart, as the name says. And that means that you didn't need any third party that they agree with something what you want to contract for. With that and the other thing, my computer, sorry. Okay, and then we are also developed the Konjugate sidechain, and that's nothing else, so that you can program everything you want on our blockchain. So, for example, you can start developing decentralized applications, games, or whatever you are interested in. So I speed it up a bit, otherwise I'm talking so long. Oh Jesus, hello. Sorry, my computer. I hope you can hear me. Okay. And the next thing is that my computer is going really slow. Okay. So I'll make it like that. So, and that was this visualized storage code. So, and we do not only store the data on the 16 by 16 pixel big images, and we have really and you can store a lot of data there. We also cut these 16 by 16 images, yes, and we store not only one image on one node from us, we also store the data decentralized on our whole network. So that makes it unhackable, and it makes super secure the whole system. And so that's the basic things what we are developing. We need all of this stuff. We need to bring us to the like the one of the final things what we want to develop is like these NFTs, yes. Because I was always thinking about when starts the valuable process of an artwork, and for me it wasn't like that you have to sell it or to bring it to a gallery and they sell it, or to an auction house or something. So I was always thinking that the value for the society starts if the artwork came into its existence. And so we try to build this up in our new developed NFTs. So basically, if you store an NFT in the end on the Wendy network side, then the NFT is, because of its existence, it starts to generate some value. In our thing, it is Konjugate, yes. So if you just put it on the side, then you start generating some passive income. And what we are also developing right now is our application, it's our Wendy. Oopsie. It's our mobile app, and so in this mobile app, I try to make it bigger now. I hope it's working now. And in this mobile app, we will include a lot of features during the time. So in the starting point, so we have this wallet where you can access your Konjugate. You can send and receive conjis from your mobile wallet. You can stake the conjis. So if you have some in your wallet, you can send some conjis into a pool, and the pool generates conjis, and you get your share out of it. And we have also a messenger like that. And so you can write messages over our blockchain, and the messages are stored there. And right now you can send text messages and links and stuff. And in the near future, you will also be able to send images and audio and video and things like that. And I think it's one of the securest messenger out there right now, because no one else can read the message. It's just the receiver and the guy who sends the message, and it is double encrypted on our chain. Okay, and so that is what we are working on right now on the mobile app. It is that we want to include chat rooms, that we are working on this sending file syncs, photo, video, and sound and stuff like that. Then we also make like a bridge from the app to the Wendy network. So if you sign up on Wendy network or on the mobile app, you get already a profile on Wendy network. Then we also want to implement the NFT section, so like a gallery function. So if you buy, for example, an NFT on Wendy network, then you have your online gallery, your own online gallery also in the app. And we want to include an incentive system. So if you share news from Konji or Wendy or stuff like that, so you get tipped by Konjis. So okay. So that was I hope that was a short overview what we are developing, and that tried to nail it down somehow in a few slides, but it's quite complicated and very technical things. Anyway, thanks for listening, and okay, thank you.
Obrigado, Mike, Michel. Obrigado pela tua explicação do que é o blockchain e eu já ia perguntar o que é para quem não sabia. Obrigado pela explicação. Vou passar agora para a Thaís as mesmas perguntas que fiz à Rita, à Cotrina e ao Mastro. O que é a tua plataforma, o teu projeto, a Diverse NFT Art, e como é que nasceu esta ideia, como é que surgiu esta ideia? Obrigado.
Thank you, Ever. I'm also going to speak in English so we can all understand each other. And oh, it's very amazing, the project of Wendy Network and what you are doing together with Konjugate, because most of all we see like artists creating DAOs, so we can use the blockchain structure to split like earnings and crypto coins, but you're doing all together. You're developing a blockchain that the main core are the artists. So I think I'm very excited to see what comes next, and I will definitely keep an eye on your projects. I'm going to present Diverse NFT Art and what we've done so far. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Diverse NFT Art was founded on March. That was about the same time that Hiketnunk, that is a decentralized application that works on Tezos blockchain, with which you can mint and manage your NFTs through low fees. It has launched as well, and it was really on the beginning of everything. There were like just a couple of artists on Hiketnunk, but everybody was very excited because Tezos is also a blockchain that works through proof of stake. So there isn't this problem about the cost of energy and the carbon print. And in this early beginning, I was working with Hiketnunk, I still am, and I could notice that there were like not many, that most of artists were like men and white, and usually from the north. So I was trying to advocate for Hiketnunk because it is more accessible. So I was inviting women and non-binary artists to join and talking with them and giving them the first test so they could mint the work. And Amélie Maya got in touch with me. She has just founded Diverse NFT Art. Amélie Maya, she's a British creative coder. Currently, she lives on Canada, and she also works as a senior creative developer at Gem3. And she has noticed like me on the Twitter, especially talking about these issues, and she invited me. And we started Hiketnunk as a collective with the goal to nourish and amplify the artwork produced as NFTs by artists that are women, non-binary, LGBTQAI+, and or BIPOC. And to do it so, mostly we share their work on Twitter. We try to do like this action constantly, like every day, because we see Twitter as a platform for showing this kind of art. And we have already done some actions and events together. So, and the first one was object for object. Before I got all inside the crypto world working with NFTs, I used to work with, I used to have a small independent publishing house in which, and I also participate in many independent book fairs all over Brazil and some outside of it. And in these book fairs, we have like this practice that is to exchange our work with other artists that are there. And it doesn't matter how much the work costs. It's more like this act of exchanging what we've created. We also, you can exchange a cheap zine for a more expensive poster and things like that. People were very open. And Hiketnung felt like one of these fairs that were a lot of artists together trying to create something in a community way. So we proposed like an event that would be like this exchange, but instead of printed material like on the independent book fairs, it would be NFTs. So we got in touch with Hiketnung also, and we made this event together. It happened on March 26th to March 28th. And we asked for artists to mint the work and put it for free. In a way, everybody could collect each other works like exchanging, because we didn't have like a proper mechanism to make this swap between artists. So we asked them to put for free. And we didn't know what would happen because March was also like when NFTs exploded and because of people selling, and everybody was having like FOMO, fear of missing out, because every artist was like, oh my God, they can just create a digital art and get millions. And it was very, very competitive. I thought the environment in general. So we were asking people for put it for free, and it happened, and it was very amazing. By the time we were celebrating the 10,000 objects are what NFTs are called in Hiketnung, milestones, or in less than 1 month that were more than 10,000 NFTs minted. And it was like something we wanted to celebrate together with Hiketnung. And during the event, we have like a huge amount of transactions in the platform. And we saw many artists joining the platform because everyone who was doing object for object was having fun, because they were like exchanging works with other artists, even if it was like a Mario Klingemann work or other names that were already like more consolidated selling in Ethereum. They would just put the work for free. So everybody was like super surprised. And we saw many people joining the platform, and we had like much fun. And then on April, we took all these objects or these NFTs that were traded, and we created this exhibition in Crypto Voxel. Hicks Calapon helped us to create it. And you could see like everyone's work together. And with these exhibitions, we thought, why not do a second edition? Because there were like many people on Hiketnung now that weren't present on the first object for object. And we decided to do the second edition. And with the second edition, we thought, how can we give more visibility to the artists that we want to promote? So we organized an open talk at Hiketnung Discord server, so everyone could like share their work and talk about the process. And also in partnership with Vertical Crypto, we did this live with many artists such as Isabella and Felipe, Angelo Creates, Moon HMZ, also known as Mumu, Jen Hum, also known as Pom Pom, Lisa Grace, Violet Forest, and Steli Flores. They were artists from like all over the globe. And it was very interesting to see what they've created for the event, but also know how has been their experience into the NFT universe. And
Cool. So
oh, sorry. And from objects too, we had like received donations, especially from Hicketnung, and also from André Venâncio, which is a coder and artist from Portugal. And we have a small fund, and we thought, how can we give back this money to the community we want to promote? And we start doing Prisma, which is an experiment in decentralized curation. We create a very simple system in which artists and or curators could sign up. And me and Amélie, we were the first curators, and we would select the second one from this data. And the second one, which is the third one. And so far, we have launched 4 Prismas. And our plan is to have 6 to the end of the year. Also, to guarantee the continuation of Prisma, we invited a Brazilian artist. She's called Marisa Noana, to make these illustrations, so we could have like Patreon diverse NFT art stamp. Her inspiration were from mail stamps, and she brought like Brazilian fauna and flora. Here you can see guarana fruit, and also like a praying mantis. We also have like, I don't know, rain ants and acai berry. And this one, it's a fly, and a specific fly that I don't know the name, and passion fruit, which are like very common in Brazil. And here is the 4 Prismas that we've done so far. And it's been like a great experience to talk with artists and curators, because mostly they are artists and curators, and learning more about the project process of selection. And one interesting thing about Prisma is that we decided to create an exhibition that it is itself also an NFT. The coding was made by, sorry, it's not loading. The coding was made by Amélie, and you can see in the middle the name of the exhibition, and around it the code of each NFT. Oh, now it loaded. So if you click here on the middle, you see the name and also a small text curation. We took this first exhibition as a chance to explain a little bit more about the idea of Prisma, because Prisma is pris in Portuguese. So we also took like this idea that is taking a white light beam and diffusing it so it shows its colors. And we have 12 artists in the exhibition. The second one was named Fogo Fato and was created by Mariana Destro. The third one was Crash, created by Marinagem. And the fourth was Mamazonia, which was curated by Maya Calogera. And they all have like different themes and different kind of art inside of it. So it's been like a cool process to finish this year with the 6 exhibitions and probably a metaverse with them living inside of it. And I think that's it for my presentation.
Muito obrigado, Thaís. Parênteses só, sintam-se à vontade, Rita e Thaís, para falar em português. Nós temos tradução tanto aqui como no Zoom, então sintam-se à vontade para falar em português. Agora eu gostaria de perguntar-vos quais foram os desafios que vocês tiveram ao criar as vossas plataformas e quais são as melhorias que vocês veem agora, as melhorias e as diferenças que vocês sentem no vosso meio artístico e como é que vocês veem tanto as vossas plataformas como esta tecnologia de blockchain daqui a 10, 20 e 30 anos. Acho que podemos começar por ti, Thaís, e depois passamos para a Rita e a Cotrina e o Mastro.
Obrigada, Evaro. Eu não sabia que tinha tradução aqui no Zoom, então vou falar em português, eu acho que mais simples para mim. Eu acho que para entrar, né, nas NFTs, existe um grande empecilho, principalmente na rede Ethereum, que é o alto custo para você criar, ou como a gente fala, mintar, cunhar uma NFT, né? Por ser uma moeda já supervalorizada, gasta-se muito, assim, algo em torno de, no mínimo, $50 e pode ir até 500. Então, assim, para mim, enquanto artista brasileira, isso é um gasto que eu não tenho como ter, né? Mesmo tendo meus privilégios, né? Sendo de uma classe média. E eu imagino que para muitos outros artistas, né? Também. Então, eu sinto que o Ricket Nunca ele já veio com essa ideia, né? De ser mais acessível por estar em outra blockchain. Eu senti isso muito como um primeiro problema, né? Então, como incentivar artistas a começarem com NFT se não é viável financeiramente? Por isso que a gente também busca se alinhar com o Ricket Nunca por entender essa plataforma também como uma plataforma mais acessível. E acho que uma surpresa que eu tive com todo esse processo foi de perceber, né, que essas discussões que a gente vem tendo no mundo físico,
in the physical world,
diversidade, a importância de se ter diferentes artistas de diferentes lugares, com diferentes vivências, de diferentes raças, com diferentes identidades, né, para mostrar também um pouco da pluralidade do mundo, né, porque é impossível apresentar toda, mas entender isso enquanto uma ação consciente e permanente, né? Então, essa discussão a gente já vê muito mais receptiva dentro do mundo cripto, né? Porque as pessoas estão no mundo também e entendem a importância desses pontos, né? Então, quando a gente traz a importância de valorizar, por exemplo, artistas mulheres, artistas não binários, e as pessoas falam, nossa, é mesmo, até homens, né? Que fazem esse papel que também é super importante, que é de apoiar, né, ser suporte nessa luta, né, a gente já encontra um campo muito mais receptivo do que eu imagino que poderia ser o campo da arte quando surgiu, né, porque agora também a gente está vendo esse momento, que é o surgimento dessa tecnologia, né, algo muito recente. Então, entendendo, né, tipo, e vendo esse poder da comunidade mesmo de ir moldando como a gente deseja, né, que essa nova tecnologia aconteça, aproveitando que ela já tem esse caráter de não ser, teoricamente, centralizada, né? Ser uma possibilidade da comunidade moldar mesmo. Então, como já existe essa discussão, né? Eu sinto que isso pode acrescentar nesse sentido, que é onde a gente quer ir com essa tecnologia, né? Onde desejamos que ela nos leve.
Obrigado, Thaís. Vou passar agora para a Rita, a Cotrina e o Mastro.
Eu penso que a tradução não está a funcionar super bem. Portanto, eu vou só repetir as perguntas. How do we see the blockchain in the arts in 10 years, and what we struggle at the moment to use it? I think like what Thais was saying about we cannot really like disconnect the problems from the blockchain. The problems that already exist. We have to if we are going to use the blockchain, if we are going to use a new way to structure the art market, we have to like make it that it works, that it fixes some of the problems that exist. So we should not just like make a clone of a structure. I think the blockchain in the arts in 10 years, it's hard, but I think it has everything to work. It can go wrong, but it's just like, it's just how it's supposed to work. I don't know, it's just very easy. I don't know if Katrina and Marcelo have something to say about it.
Well, I actually am very positive about blockchain for art in 10 years. Even today, we already see in very traditional art exhibitions, art fairs, that NFTs are making their way, and like we see in the most traditional auctions, such as Christie's auction that recently sold an NFT for $69 million. So, and it made the news and everyone was so impressed. And to me, it seems that it's gaining a lot of weight, and the oldest and the most classical institutions of art in the world are already catching up with blockchain. So I don't think it's just a fad, so like that it will fade away. I would be very positive about that, especially that, I mean, we're all gonna live more and more on behind the screen somehow. I see there's a trend as well. People work from home constantly. People visit online exhibitions. People visit online. Everything is happening online. So I don't see it fading away in 10 years. I see it getting stronger and stronger and more accessible to people. And why do we struggle to use it at the moment? I think it is always the case with any new thing in the world, that you have some early adapters. So people who are curious from day one and they just go for it. And you have, well, people who take things very seriously and they're afraid. And also a lot of people are very lazy to do their research. So they just keep being afraid of it without doing their research, without getting to know more about it. But I think that will also pass, just like anything else that we use today, like the internet itself. Once a long time ago, it was taken like, ooh, is it actually it's gonna go away? No one is gonna use it. But right now everyone is using it. So yeah, that's my point.
All right. What I'm thinking about blockchain technology and arts in 10 years, I think the blockchain is here to stay. They will never disappear again. And I think that we are still very early adapters for this technology. And you know, in 10 years, so if I look at my son, for example, or something, yes, they are quite interested in that, and he's 9 years now. So in 10 years, he's 19, and it will completely normal for him to collect some NFTs or something. that's the one thing. And the other thing is that if you look at the European Union and the digital rights, for example, that the blockchain technology enables a lot of possibilities that you really can prove the ownership of a digital artwork. And the strange thing for me in this NFT, in the whole NFT market, is that you can copy and you can print out these NFTs, or you can just make left click with your mouse and save it to your file, to your computer or whatever. But the thing is that we are living in such a digital world already, that that it is completely, that this image by itself is not really much worth anymore, because you share it on Facebook and blah and blee and blue, yes. But what makes it valuable, and that's the ownership, that I'm the owner of this whatever artwork, yes, and I have this proof that I'm the owner. And that's the very strange thing. And if you look at the collectors, of the majority of the NFT collectors, these are quite young guys, yes, or right. And so I think it is like a fork on the blockchain. Fork means that if you stay on one blockchain and there is a mistake, then you fork it and you got two chains, yeah. And I think the art market is working right now. So you have this like traditional art market with these auction houses and galleries and stuff like that. And this new art market, which is coming up, this NFT market. And also this NFT technology, it's really childish somehow. Yeah, it's not finished developed at all. And yes, and if you imagine NFTs in 10 years, there will be a lot of improvement also in this technology. And that is also where Konjugate comes in, because we are really looking for these improvements. Yes? We are not interested to just make a NFT on the Ethereum chain, which is completely unsecure at all. Yeah, and so I think that will be the game changer somehow. Yeah, and there are a lot of improvement already because of this. If you're selling an NFT. And it gets resaled, then the artist gets his share out of it. So I'm since 30 years in this art market somehow, in this traditional, and I didn't recognize anything. If my gallery sells something, okay, then I recognize it, and then I can run behind the money if I'm unlucky. And then if the next owner of my artwork sells it, I didn't recognize it at all. So I didn't get any share of it. And with our smart contracts and connected to this NFT things, yes, we get this completely this proof, and only if the next owner gets the token, then he is really the owner. And if he gets the token, then the artist gets his share. So completely full automatically. And there is nothing to talk about anymore, and stuff like that. So I think it is like the IBM founder. They asked him once how many computers are necessary on this planet, and and his answer was, I guess, 3 or something. He said, I think 3 computers are quite a lot, yeah, and that's enough for to make all these calculations what we want to do. And today in everything it's a chip or something, or a computer, and that's completely normal, and we didn't ask ourselves why it is like that. So and this is also with this blockchain thing, and so I'm pretty sure that it will stay, and I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of improvement and development and a lot of startups and stuff who are investing a lot of energy and thoughts how you can make it better, secure, whatever. Okay, and so I'm pretty sure that it is a story, a successful story, the whole blockchain story.
Muito obrigado, Mastro, Rita, Cotrina e Thaís. Vou passar agora para a sessão de perguntas. Quem tiver alguma pergunta, dúvida, comentário, pode fazer agora. Está aberta a sessão para isto. Obrigado.
Good night. My name is Rui. I enjoyed very much all of the presentations, and I think I'm not sure to whom to address this, maybe all of you, but eventually Michael perhaps. So it's pretty clear to me that blockchain is a game changer. It's something has come and is going to stay. But I wanted to ask you perhaps more something concerning the currencies, the cryptocurrencies, because as you know, governments all over the world and central banks and all kind of institutions don't really deal well with this situation at the moment. I mean, the idea of non-state currencies, it's something that it's difficult to see happening. So, for example, I would like to ask you, how do you see the actual moment? And because I was reading the days, for example, 60 central banks from all over the world are now defining strategies on how to control those currencies. And when we talk about cryptocurrencies, of course, we are talking about different kinds of cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin and others and stable coins are not the same thing, and so on. So I was just wanted to know your opinion in general about how you foresee the possibility of keeping on and giving people from these platforms the ability to use these alternative kinds of payments and currencies.
Okay, thank you for your question. I guess what you are talking about is the regulation thing, on the one hand, we are based in Austria, in Vienna actually, yes, and we, for example, we are now approved from the Austrian government that we are a legal cryptocurrency, whatever that means. But and we are really focusing on these legal things as well, yeah, because otherwise you're really, I think, on the long run you're really running into a huge problem. But in general, and cryptocurrencies and regulations is that there's really two sides of this medal, yes. And the one side is that I'm really think it's quite good that we get some regulations about it, even like for a startup or something, yes, because then you are in a legal, you can work in a legal frame set, yes. On the other side, it is completely against the technology and the thinking and believing behind it, yes. So basically, I think because of this decentralization, it's on the long run, it's not possible to regulate it. What you can't regulate someone who installed a wallet somewhere on this planet, you know. But what you can regulate is that, for example, this guy can't sell his coins because he's located in a special country where trading with cryptocurrency is forbidden or something. It's very complicated. Nobody knows where it's going now. But as far as I know, is that the US approved this what's called this special trading thing, yes, for Bitcoin, for example. Is the reason why the price is going up right now. And so I think it's good that states start to regulate it. Yes, I think the people, it's like the mining. Yeah, in China, like the Bitcoin mining, it is quite forbidden now there, yes, and all these mining companies there went to the US now. So okay, they are not in China anymore, but then they go somewhere else, yes. But you can't stop Bitcoin just because because it's forbidden in one country to mine on a huge scale Bitcoins, for example. So I think there's always a self-regulated thing also in this decentralization, and because even in this frame of the globalization is that we are not nailed on in one country or something, and it is this virtual and what's called this metaverse somehow, and I think besides that there are a lot of technical possibilities. You can cheat this system, this regulation system, but that's the other thing. But I think on the long run, I think it's good that they regulate it, yes, and because then you know where you are and what you can get out of it or something, I hope that answered the question a bit.
Acho que sim, Mastro. Nós temos mais uma pergunta aqui, mas queria dizer antes disso que o pessoal que está a participar do Zoom também pode fazer perguntas através do chat e nós vamos as ler aqui.
Good night to everyone. About the question, I want to know what exactly weighs more on the price of an NFT. Is it the idea behind it, the networking, or the signature, the artist? Because the price fluctuation is, so I've seen pieces of art and being sold at a low price and rubbish. It's like in the art world. So I'm asking, in the NFT markets, what exactly weighs more?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I can ask maybe a short what I think about it is I think so too. It is like in the traditional art markets that there are some big players like the crypto banks or something, yes, and they sell it for millions of dollars or whatever, yes, and the majority of the artists get out nothing from this NFT market, like on the traditional market. But that is why, because that is the reason why we want to change it, that like everybody gets something out of this Konjugate chain, yes. During this existence of this artwork, and that makes a difference, I guess, yeah. Because if you don't make this marketing and Instagram and blah 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 and whatever, that you get like famous in this NFT market, and I don't know how many NFT they mint on the day, millions maybe, I don't know, and I think the majority of NFTs they get sold for $20 whatever dollars or something, if they get sold, and so there is nothing different than the traditional art market. But what is the difference, or can make the difference, is if you make a difference, or if you make an improvement in the technology, then you can make also a different market with different labels, levels, and I don't know, value something. I don't know the English word for that, but so that is what we are working on. We really try to make art valuable again, yes, with our project on the Wendy network website, with our artists and residences and stuff, and also on the next step with this NFT section. That's the thing what we are working on. But you are right, and I have another problem with the NFT, and then I'm stopped. Because I think a lot of NFTs, in my opinion, I'm an old guy, yes, and I'm sorry about that. Yeah, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I think a lot of this stuff is not art at all. But that is in the opinion of the guy who is watching it. I don't know. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't know. But we are focusing on artists, and we are focusing on this bridge between this. Because there was this idea what we had about this digital twin, yeah. So for example, if you make a sculpture or something, yes, in the real world, and you can touch the sculpture and stuff, and you make a digital artwork out of it. So you make like a digital twin out of it. And what you can do then is that you can do something like, you know, so if you imagine if you get recognized by this NFT collector community, and I don't know, your artwork gets sold, your digital artwork gets sold for whatever, yeah, $100,000 or something, then you can imagine how much will be the real artwork, how much will be the price of the real artwork, and it should be, I think, much higher. But maybe that's my old view of this art thing, and maybe it should be the digital artwork much higher. I don't know, but I think there's a lot of opportunities what we can play around and what we can think about. What we know.
From my research, it's a very valid question. Like what raises the price? Who determines the price? So the collections of NFTs usually make a good success, especially when marketed properly. So a lot of the success depends on the community and the marketing. So if you build a community around yourself as an artist or as whoever, so for example, I'm not an artist, right? But I want to release an NFT collection with a collaboration of artists. For me, the number one thing I need to do is to build a community that is interested in what we do, supports us, would be interested to have our NFTs and so on. And from the discussions that I've been participating in and the research I've been doing, NFTs that receive a lot of success are personalized ones as well. So something that, for example, in a collection of avatars, people like to recognize themselves. And also, for example, in a collection of avatars of NFTs, let's say, NFTs with more accessories, with like more interesting or more rare. For example, if there's a collection of, I don't know, 10,000 people faces, but then there's one zombie face, then it will have a way higher price. So that also really determines the price somehow. So it's, I believe it's a mix between marketing, the community, the idea behind the artwork. How do you market it really matters. Like, is there a limit, time limit? Are you rushed to buy it or not? There's also this fear of missing out. So people buy in a piece of a collection because they're afraid that they will not be able to buy it later. And also the accessories, the entire NFT itself, the personalization aspect of it, that people like to recognize themselves in it. So yeah, that's from my point, my research.
I think that's a very good question as well. And something that is very, I think, amazing about NFTs in the NFT market is that it doesn't follow exactly the same parameters as the traditional art market. It doesn't have like all history of art as its background. So it's very hard to say what will make success, what will sell, right? I feel that right now, since most of people that already had or already knew about cryptocurrency were more like involved with technology, the NFTs that are being more shout out are the ones that are created like inside technology. For example, generative coding or 3D environments that people sometimes make videos, sometimes make the model itself. But it's kind of hard to know what will be the next top of the wave. Like, you see a lot of waves happening. For instance, now it's like pixel art. The next will be 3D models. We never know. And I think it's a mix of what all you said, but it's also about your digital presence, your online presence. So it comes to what Katrina said, it's about the network you create and how it spreads. So if you had a good network on Twitter, for example, which is the social media that it's used more by NFT artists, and you have like a lot of people that like your work there, they will share your work and more people will know. And maybe if you flip, like you sell for a lot, you start to selling for a lot for a while and maybe it will stop. So I think it's something that's very new, but for now, the most important thing is to create these networks, these communities. And I think that's a little bit naive because I think we should create these networks with people that we like, with people that have the same interests, like the same poetic research, or that we feel related, like create these connections for true, not just thinking like, I'm going to sell. And yeah, I think that's about it. It's like a lot of the work that is done to sell NFT, it's like 80% being online and 20% having what someone can say a good art or this.
Obrigado. Mais alguma pergunta, dúvida, comentário? A Rita, não sei se tem alguma coisa para adicionar.
I was just, yes, sorry. I was just going to add that one of the things that makes NFTs that's so valuable, I guess it's actually the people that are involved in NFTs are like, as you said, computer people. So the aesthetics is like video game aesthetics, and they really value stuff like things that they can collect, like cards, not like art, like literally like cards. That's why they really like the CryptoPunks and the CryptoKitties. I don't remember the name. It's just kind of like geeky. It's just that's how it works at the moment. But it's going to change eventually. It's just like the first people, the first buyers.
Obrigado, Rita. Temos mais uma pergunta.
Oi. As pessoas estão a ouvir, os painelistas estão a ouvir nas línguas. Eu posso falar em português?
Sim, posso falar em português.
É só uma questão para até isto, de curiosidade. Estamos a falar do Brasil e nós estamos aqui no Sul também. Até que ponto é que tu vês o potencial da diverse NFT Art e de outras plataformas e da IKNUNC em gerarem no Brasil, digamos, capacidade de dar projeção àqueles que estão fora, digamos, do sistema tradicional da arte?
Acho que muito potencial, né? No Diverse NFT Art a gente faz esses projetos para que se tragam várias visões, né? Se experimenta em curadoria descentralizada é justamente isso também, de não trazer somente a minha visão ou da Meli, né, enquanto fundadoras do coletivo, mas tentar trazer essa diversidade, né? E eu sinto que com o IKNUNC, né, que é uma plataforma que também foi desenvolvida por um brasileiro, pelo Rafael Lima, aqui de Brasília, a gente viu muitos e muitos artistas brasileiros entrando e às vezes começando em outras plataformas, depois também em plataformas Ethereum. e conseguindo ganhar a vida, né, vendendo o NFT. A gente sabe que a pandemia foi especialmente dura para nós no Sul. Eu acho que, especialmente aqui no Brasil, foi um desastre, né? O governo, a forma como foi conduzida. E já faz muito tempo, já faz desde o golpe de 2016, a gente vê o dinheiro que era direcionado para a cultura sendo cada vez menor. Então, ver a possibilidade de conseguir se sustentar, né, através da arte que você faz é incrível. Eu sinto que o NFT ele deu essa perspectiva, esse horizonte para muitos artistas brasileiros e também de outros lugares do sul global. E eu não sei, assim, né, talvez voltando à sua pergunta anterior sobre a blockchain e as criptomoedas, realmente é uma faca de dois gumes, né? Tem dois lados essa moeda. Uma é essa possibilidade de uma descentralização que é muito sedutora, né? E, porém ainda utópica. Essa possibilidade de se criar microeconomias, né? Enxergo o Riquet-Nunc muito como uma microeconomia. São artistas colecionadores comprando, revendendo, conseguindo propiciar um sustento para artistas reais, né? E muitos, né, de diferentes lugares aqui do Brasil, que é a comunidade que eu tenho mais contato, né, de diferentes regiões do Brasil. Então, é muito interessante essas possibilidades, mas eu acho que também é necessário e importantíssimo um pensamento crítico, porque tem esse lado, né, de ser uma moeda que não é gerida por um banco central, que não é gerida por um governo. E a gente já vê entrando em economias, né, como, por exemplo, aconteceu em El Salvador. E como uma economia já fragilizada, uma política já em crise, lida com uma moeda que é tão volátil, né? Então, eu acho que é realmente importante nesse momento, que é justamente o começo, a gente tá muito atenta e pensando sobre esses possíveis caminhos, né? Como vai ser aqui daqui a 10 anos, eu acho que é impossível saber. Se eu soubesse, eu estaria muito milionária daqui a 10 anos. Mas eu sinto que tipo, essa possibilidade, né, de uma maior, talvez, democratização e de se pensar a blockchain enquanto ecossistema, então ele é direcionado pela comunidade que está ao seu redor, né, pela comunidade que gere, eu acho que são ferramentas e formas muito interessantes de se seguir. Mas é muito importante também o pensamento crítico para que não se torne só mais uma ferramenta capitalista, neoliberal, né, que vai causar cada vez mais a desigualdade ou uma concentração de renda, né? Pensar isso mesmo enquanto distribuição. E acho que gostaria que fosse para esse lugar que fosse levado, né? E não para um lugar que pode ser muito perigoso mesmo, sim, eu acho que é um risco. Eu diria que a blockchain é a maior aposta que eu faria enquanto o que vai ser a internet, mas como ela vai ser, eu acho que também cabe a nós pensar, né? Tentar direcionar de alguma forma.
Obrigado, Thaís. Temos mais uma pergunta ali atrás.
Hello. Okay. I'm sorry because it will be a question maybe that has been addressed in the beginning of the discussion because I joined a little bit late. But I thought it was really interesting when you presented how this technology for NFT can be a good opportunity for communities to gain also the money for the art that they are doing. But I didn't get really what are the practical ways to ensure that these communities, these artists from the local areas can really access this money. When I said, for example, Christie's or beer curators can also do NFTs and also sell art through the blockchain, I wonder what are the practical ways for you, for example, with your platform, what do you put in place to make sure that the artist gets the maximum of the value that its art has? I don't know if my question is really clear or not, and if it has been addressed already. I'm sorry.
If I can answer shortly, maybe. I think to get out the maximum of the artwork, it's very difficult at all, yeah, because it depends on the it's like a fluctuation on the art market. But if you pop up as an artist in this new art field, then the price is going up quite fast. Yes. So this is a problem. I don't know if the blockchain can solve it. Yeah. But what you can do is, for example, micropayments. Yes. So and that opens another gate for artists, for example, for musicians or something. Yes. So if you can imagine a website like I don't know, like music YouTube or something, and the musician get paid for each second a micropayment, because the problem with euro or US dollar or whatever, with any cryptocurrencies, you can't pay smaller amounts, for example, in euro than 0.01 cent, and that's quite that sounds nothing, but if a lot of people pay it, it's quite a lot, yes. But if they get 0.000 something cent, that sounds like completely nothing. But you know, if a lot of people pay into this pot, then there's also money came together, yes. And if they get paid for each second, then I think they get quite a lot of out of their artwork. But in general, we have to rethink the whole art market, and we have to rethink and implement the possibilities of the blockchain into our thinking. Then there will come up a lot of ideas how you can monetize your art, and it's not necessary that you sell your art for $1 million, for example. It is quite okay if you get 0 something from a lot of people. Then you get also some income together, yes. And so I think we have to rethink the whole economy or art economy, because we have another possibilities now.
Yeah, I think like what the blockchain technology enables us is to have smart contracts, like Michel explained earlier. They are like programs, softwares, or transaction protocols that runs when you sell an artwork, when you put it for sale, right? So in this smart contract, like what is already established is that you usually, as an artist or as a wallet that mint an NFT, you have royalties, which means every sale on secondary market, you get a percentage. For example, you sell your artwork for 1 coin, and then the person who has it decided to sell for 2 coins. And you said that you have 10% royalties. If this person sells the work, you will get 0.2 coins automatically. It is all already programmed to happen in the blockchain. You don't have to talk to anyone. You don't have to go to the owner and say, hey, give me my 20%. You don't have to do it. This is something that NFTs are already doing, and it's very nice for the artists because we don't have it on the physical art market, like Michel said earlier too. And another thing that's happening are the DAOs, which stand for decentralized autonomous organizations, that are usually like these people that get together and they create a system that is autonomous, which runs by the smart contracts, and they can redistribute what they earn. So it's like a collective, but the distribution of the coins is already set. You can also, there are some platforms that enables you, for example, to have, when you mint an NFT, you can already say, okay, 10% of these NFTs go goes to this wallet and split, like already said. You have it, for instance, if you do a collaboration with an artist, you can split 50-50. Or if we think about music, it makes more sense because you have like a group that's making the music. Or maybe if you think about the film industry, it could already happen like the divisions of the earnings. And oh, sorry, I got lost. But I think there are already some mechanisms that enables you to get like the coins. But for the person to receive coins, they must have a wallet, a digital wallet. And I understand that can be a barrier, like for us here in Brazil, and maybe it's a similar situation in Mozambique, because a lot of people are not like, don't have this much access to technology or to internet. So this is like an obstacle the blockchain, or I don't know, our country will also have to pass through. Because I mean, blockchain, NFTs, they democratize the access of the art, yes. But when you live in a country that like 10 years ago, a lot of houses, a lot of cities didn't have energy, it's like very weird to think about this democratization because we know people don't have access, right? So I think we have like different challenges to overcome so everyone could have like access to this technology and receive for their work.
Obrigado, Thaís. Temos mais 2-3 minutinhos para uma última pergunta, se alguém tiver. Se não, encerramos esta sessão. Mais alguma pergunta? Algum comentário? Alguma dúvida? Temos mais uma pergunta ali, uma última pergunta ali.
Obrigado. Good night. So I have a question. If I understood well, NFT on the one hand allow to not certificate fake piece of art. On the other hand, you can do like exact copy of certificate piece of art, but it's not certificate. So the idea behind is to push, to promote the art from the artist to help to support the artists making their art. So can we think about like maybe incentives, like maybe, I don't know, the states give a wallet to buy those NFT to support artists? Is such incentive exists, have been implemented today or not yet? Or what's your idea of the way to support the artists with the specific technology of NFT?
Yeah, I think that won't happen because NFTs, they usually are traded in cryptocurrencies that are not regulated by any government. It's a currency that's not owned by any government. So we are also in this moment of the regularization of it by each country will apply their laws. But I don't think like the state or the governments will support this practice as maybe we see like supporting and financing art practice, physical art practice. But I think mostly of the platforms and there are also some collectives that are helping people to get their first mint. Like it can be on Ethereum or on Tezos. For example, on Hiketnunk, we have like what we call fountain, in which the person only have to tweet or put in some social media fountain emoji and sign in the forms. and the person will receive like enough Tezos to start minting on Hic Nunc. On Ethereum, I know there are some collectives that also select artists to finance their first minting. So I think we will see these initiatives to come, but from a private side, not like for the government. And on Prisma, the project that we are running right now, we select the artwork and we also purchase it. So we give the money to the artist, we buy the artwork. I think that was like our way to give back to the artist the money that we have gathered.
Sounds great.
Não sei se a Rita, a Cotrina e o Mastro gostariam de acrescentar alguma coisa.
I was going to say exactly the same, that maybe not from the state, but from foundations. Foundations always have a lot of interest in financing culture. So indirectly because of state regulations. And yeah, we do that. We finance artists. And in the future, I think like there will be much more ways to do it. Like we're actually, like at the moment we are actually financing, but very little. In the future, there will be much more and more of us doing this, because foundations always have to find a way to reduce their taxes, and they love financing art and culture.
Right. And that brings me to another project that we are working on, because otherwise we get bored. Maybe we didn't develop so much at the moment, and is that we want to establish a foundation in Austria, hopefully next year, as the MFF Foundation, and this foundation will also support contemporary artists or art and NFT artists and whatever. So keep the fingers crossed that we can manage it till next year, and it will be financing a lot of also international stuff. So that's another, it's a side project what we are working on. But okay, that's from my side.
I just wanted to say just brief words as part of the team of Maputo Fast Forward. Besides being thankful and grateful for your participation. And what I would like to say is that that we, Maputo Fast Forward, are looking forward to keep the connections, both with you, Konjugate and Wendy.network, and also with Thais and her project, Diverse NFT Art, because I think that for a country like Mozambique and for the artists here who have huge problems in getting the funds to do the work, so it would be very interesting and important to explore here, even if it is a niche or a small number of people, but as a starting point. So I just wanted to welcome you to continue to engage with us, and we will look forward to keep our engagement with you and our conversation. And that's it. I think that we need to explore these possibilities. They are all starting, so there's a lot of still uncharted territory, but there is something that it can be explored. So I just wanted to say in the name of Maputo Fast Forward that we are looking forward to keep the contact and the conversation with you all. And that's it. Thank you.
Só para fechar, gostaria de agradecer a Rita, a Cotrina, o Mastro e a Thaís por esta conversa. Foi muito bom aprender convosco e saber mais sobre os vossos projetos. E obrigado a todos que estão aqui, que participaram aqui na Fundação e online através do Zoom e Facebook. E obrigado, até a próxima.
Obrigada.
Obrigada.
Thank you.